Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be demonstrating X-Plane 11 beta. I just picked it up. I'm in the default Cessna 172. I'm at JFK up in New York City. I'm just going to take off and fly a pattern around the airport, just so you can kind of see the game, see the scenery. I do have Airport Environment HD by Mr. X6 and the JFK add-on by x-codr installed, so you'll see that too as well in this video. But if you'll take a look here outside the plane, you'll see the modeling is extremely nice in X-Plane 11. I'll zoom in here. You can see the reflections, which is something they really emphasized on in this game this year. I'm very pleased with it. I'm an FSX guy, but I think I found my new home here at X-Plane 11. But I'll get in here and show you some of my settings I've got set up. I'm using TrackIR. Alright guys, here's my settings. Just general settings. I didn't play with it too much. Volume, I didn't mess with it. If you see down here in the bottom, TrackIR, I did have to do some setting up on it. Here's my settings here. I did turn the speed down. I turned it down to 0.5 and I turned the smoothness up to 30. This helped. This really helped it. When I first started playing on default, it kind of jumped around a little bit. It wasn't very smooth, a little too fast. So I got in here and changed that. And I also changed my hotkey to center it. Just mapped it to button 2 on my joystick. And it works pretty good. I'm still going to tweak it a little bit, and if something changes, I'll upload another video and let you know. But here, we'll go back to the settings. I didn't really change much. I did turn the visual effects up, texture quality up just a little bit. It seems to be running okay. I've got an AMD R9 390 8GB card, and it's running fairly well. I'm pleased with the way it looks and the way it runs. I did have to change some settings here for my joystick. I got an Extreme 3D Pro Logitech. I did mess with the buttons a little bit. That's kind of your preference, but here's the big thing. It was a little too sensitive, so I did turn the sensitivity down. As you can see some numbers here, and it seems to be pretty responsive and working just fine. This was very easy to set up. I did have to put my own input in for the yaw, though. It didn't automatically pick that up. But I'll set up a flight here. You can see the new user interface in X-Plane 11 is very easy to use, and it's definitely improved over X-Plane 10. I did install the default skins that come on the plane here. As you can see, they're very nicely modeled. There's several of them default that you can load in, but I like this one right here the best. We'll fly with it. We're going to start out here at JFK, like I mentioned earlier. Clear skies. We're going to fly in the middle of the day. I'm going to do some more videos later, and I'll turn on some weather and stuff so we can see how the default weather is in X-Plane 11. We're going to take off at runway 22 left. It's the shortest runway. It's plenty of runway for this little 172 Skyhawk. But without no further ado, let's hop into it. I probably should have edited out this loading screen, but oh well. Just in case you're wondering for the review, I guess you'll see in real time how long it takes it to load. It doesn't take very long. Alright, here we go. Throw just a little bit of flaps on. Mixture's good. Everything else is good. Trim set to take off. Turn the parking brake off. Alright, we're going to get this thing up in the air. Just going to fly a quick little pattern around the airport and come back here and land on 22 left. I'll compliment on the flight model here. It is pretty nice. It does pull off to the left as it should when you give it some throttle. Airspeed's live. 50, 60. I'm gonna rotate at 70. It's rotating. Try to climb up to around 1800, 2000. That flaps up. Just gonna fly the runway heading here as close as I can to it. Not gonna be perfect. We're just gonna fly VFR at an airport. And another thing I will compliment on is the sounds. If you've seen any of the promotional videos that Laminar's done, they'll show you and emphasize on the sounds, and they have hit that right on the nail, right on the head when it comes to the sounds. They are awesome, and you'll see some difference later. At the end of this video, if you'll keep watching, I'm going to do some replays of the landing, and you'll be able to hear the sounds outside the aircraft. They do change from around the aircraft depending on your position. You can obviously hear it's not too loud right now because we're inside, but if I was to get outside the aircraft, it would the volume would definitely pick back up, and the pitch of it, different sounds. Just like if you was walking around an airplane, the sound's going to change. But we'll begin our first turn here. If you can see, this is default scenery. The only thing I did change was I installed the JFK airport, but I don't think that affected any of the surrounding scenery. This is default. If you'll see the roads, which you'll get to see it here a little better when I start looking around here in just a minute. But if you'll see, the roads are very detailed. You got 3D cars driving around on them. I think that's a pretty nice feature. You can also see here, if you look down, the vegetation, the buildings, all this is default. I think it's very nicely done for a default game. I think that just shows us that the potential for some add-on scenery is probably going to be unreal with this newer engine. And I'm not going to sit here and compare this to Flight Simulator X. I think that's unfair. I think FSX is a great game. I play it often. I'm not going to quit playing it. And it's just an older game. I do know that many of the add-on developers and whatnot, they've kept it alive for so long. But I think this X-Plane 11 just has so much potential. But it's not for some of the same type of people. You know, in FSX you can go in, create your flight plan, it automatically puts it in the GPS, and you may be able to do that on X-Plane. I don't think you can. If you can, I haven't figured it out yet. Plus I like fooling with my GPS. I'll put my flight plan in here directly. I like that aspect of it. It's I think you got a lot more realism in the flight model as well here in X-Plane. But like I said, I'll stop. I said I wasn't going to compare them. I don't think it's a fair comparison. They're two different generation games. Two completely different games. We'll get back on X-Plane here. I do like the modeling here on the aircraft. I think they've done an awesome job on this default Cessna. If you can see, it's just everything's very crisp, runs together. All the instruments work. Oh, here we go. My TrackIR accidentally zoomed in a little too much, looking over there for the airport. You can see the sound changed right when I popped out of the airplane. But those settings on that joystick, turn the sensitivity down a little bit if you're using the Logitech Extreme Pro 3D. I recommend turning sensitivity down just a little bit, just like I did. And I may tweak it a little more, but it's flying pretty smooth right now. And I'll go ahead and demo the TrackIR a little bit while I'm here. If you've noticed, I've been looking around with it. Like I showed you before, I changed my settings, but if you can see, it's pretty smooth. I'd turn the smoothness up and the speed down a little bit. It's pretty smooth. You have to turn your head just a little bit more than you normally would, but it's a lot smoother. When I first loaded it up in the default settings, it was, you could turn your head and it would just snap, you know, snap you over to the windows and stuff real quick, and it kind of got out of control. I think they've done an excellent job on the default scenery though. Look at that. That's strictly vanilla default. I just installed it. And I'll do some more videos. My next few videos, I'll fly from some of these smaller cities, like my hometown, Stanton, Kentucky. We have a little small airport. It's the first place I loaded it up earlier whenever I first played it, and I gotta say it's very accurate. The roadways are. A lot of the buildings aren't, of course, that's expected. They're just using default buildings, you know, generating. But the roadways, I mean the streets and stuff, were exactly on. I was very impressed. And just a little bit more about my computer. This game's running very smooth. I've got 16 gigs of RAM. I've got an i7 4790K, and I've got like I mentioned before, the AMD 8 gig card, the R9 390. It's running very smooth. I'm not experiencing any frames issues. I think it looks very well, very suitable for me. Slow this thing down a little bit before we turn here on our final. Start making our turn here to our final. Watch the flaps on here. We slow down. Try to keep it around 70 miles or 70 knots. Excuse me. As we come in here, looks like we're pretty well on the wide slope. I'll just get us lined up here. I'll give x-codr some credit. He did a good job on this JFK add-on airport. It's very accurate, looks good. It's I believe it's an X-Plane 10 version. However, it says it works on X-Plane 11. I just wanted to try it. I threw it on here. It works just fine. And also the airport environment HD. I went ahead and picked that up. All this is on the X-Plane forums. You can download it for free. Mr. X6 was the author of that. We'll give him some credit on a job well done. It upgraded the visuals on the runways, the taxiways, etc. We're still doing good on our speed. We're still on the glide path. We're getting ready to make a decision here. Everything looks good. Looks like we're going to be able to land. I feel like it may be missing just a little bit of scenery right there, and I'm not sure if that may be something to do with me adding these add-ons on, or because I haven't flown at this airport in the pure vanilla. Everything's still looking good. It's looking good. Let's go ahead and kill the power. Just kind of glide in here. Flare just a little bit, and we're on the ground. Nice, smooth. I find the flight model, I can't say enough about it. They've got it right on here. I'll be excited to see some of the add-on planes and in the future, and see how they maintain the flight models. But the default planes, they pushed out some good default planes. There's not very many of them right now. I don't know if they're going to add more or not, but the ones they do have, they are legitimate. But so far I'm liking it. I'll push out some more videos, but if you want to stick around here for a couple more minutes, I'm going to go back here in the replay mode here in just a second, let you see from out external views the airplane coming in on final and landing. You'll hear some of the different sounds, how smooth the transition is on the sounds when they're coming in. Throw the park and brake on here, then we'll transition into the replay mode here, and I'll shut up and thank you for watching. Enjoy the replays coming up. Make sure you like and subscribe if you like the video and you want to subscribe to my channel for more X-plane content. Enjoy.